Subscribe, like, share, and comment.
And if they bent over too far, they'd fall in and be crushed by the coal as it came tumbling down on them. Oh, poor boys. These are some of our boys from Mount Olive, Illinois. They worked in the coal mines. They would go in at 5 o'clock in the morning and come in after dark and fall asleep on their little straw pallets, barely able to lift their heads. They didn't have a childhood. They didn't have schools. They didn't go to the doctor when they were sick. The doctor was death. There were children in mills all over the country being exploited, held in slave labor by the barons who had diamonds and rubies. Diamonds that were the children's tears. Rubies that were their blood. The poor children, my boys, they died before they ever had a chance to live. No school, just work. No laughter, just work. Maimed their bodies, lost their fingers, their bodies hunched over and bent from working, bending over so many hours. In the mills, the little girls would get their hair caught in the machinery and scalp them, or their clothes, their little pant legs would get caught and break their legs. And they didn't make enough to get much flesh on the bones. They didn't have anything to eat. And they carried their little lunch pail. Well, in the biggest part of the lunch pail, it was water, because they had no water down in the mines. And they had their biscuit in the very top part. They carried a little flask, maybe with a little water right there. And on the very hat, on their hat, there were flames. Flames that they would take down into the mine so that they could see. Because they had no lamps, they had no light, they couldn't see what they were doing. They didn't have glasses anyway, they couldn't see. Poor boys. And they lived in the mines. And when there was an accident in the mine and they'd be killed under tons of coal falling on them, the mine owner would say, "Well, was the mule hurt?" He cared for the mule and not for our boys who would give their entire life just for a few pennies, so that they could stay alive one more day to work. They weren't brave. They did what they were told, and if they didn't, they were beaten. They would sit up on little ledges above the coal as it came rushing down the chutes. And if they bent over too far, they'd fall in and be crushed by the coal as it came tumbling down on them. Oh, poor boys. Oh, poor boys. Oh. But the union made sure that there were child labor laws. We were fought for justice and equality, fair wages. So children didn't work 12-hour days. They could go to school. They got sick, they could go to the hospital. Our boys were able to grow up to become brave, strong men.